just to show you the locations of things. We introduced the lotus anatomy of the plasma body quite early on in the Tantra Art teachings. And I believe we actually introduced them at the end of the Sliders teachings in Freedom Teachings. When the planetary plasma body begins to activate, just like when our plasma body begins to activate, one of the first things that start to activate are the lotus structures within the chakras, where these little receiving and broadcasting organs start to turn on and begin to process frequency. So each of the chakras, what this is showing basically is each of the chakras has what is referred to as the lotus anatomy. Each of the 7 embodied chakras would have a set of 6 lotuses, and they look like lotus flowers with various layers of petals in them. What they are part of the plasma body anatomy that works as a receiving and broadcasting system. They are part of our sensory organs on the plasma body level and on the true body level. So I've only showed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6 of them here. There's one at the third eye as well. This part of the anatomy, the lotuses, are supposed to look really beautiful, and they're like sparkly. They carry the color frequencies associated with each of the primary chakras, but they're also heliochroic, and they have beautiful colors running through them usually. When we have the light flowering, that's the natural process, the blooming of the frequencies of the plasma body progressively turning on within the light body structure of the atomic body, and also within the within the external body and within the atomic structure of the body as well. And females come in with those because that's what the core of themselves are made of, because they had gone through the process of becoming a Christ star, through the ascension process. So they have the plasma generation ability. It's dormant within the bodies until your contracts activate. And anybody that has a Tantra Asia or Fontic contract is being called into activation. And we're going through natural activations. We're hitting a level where usually you have to get to a point where you've integrated most of your density for avatar level of frequency, and that's when it will start the sprouting process of the seeds of your lotus system that live in the chakra seals. And normally the light body structures would come out first, and then as they progressed and accreted frequency, they would start pulling in the core plasmas, which would create the seal around them so they couldn't be harmed. And that is precisely what our systems were made to do. When we hit a certain point, once we hit avatar frequency levels, we're supposed to have first our light body levels of our lotuses would open and begin drawing in more frequency and cycling more and generating more quantum, and then finally trigger the activation of the plasma body frequencies. So our plasma system would come on, which is that core system that connects back to the Christ star from which we came. And they're the strongest frequencies a being can run. So there's normally a progression. We're not having time to do the slow progression on this because of the fatally epidemic that is being let loose on the planet. So we're going right into the plasma level of the activations, which will take care of the light body level. It'll sheathe the light body lotuses so they can't be tampered with light. And light fights light, basically, in the outer domains. So once we have the plasma sheathing on that part of our anatomy, it can go through its activations from there normally and safely without being tampered with by the fatali that are trying basically to get in your body and take you over, right? Because they want bodies that have theme coding. But because the fatali issue is it is a big problem that is happening on the planet in general, that they can't take any chances with that at that point. They're saying they're going to move it from dormant into budding directly while we're at this workshop. Andreas and I are going to transmit a wave for you that will begin the process of vibrating the seeds, the lotus seeds. And they're saying they should bud. That's fast then. I think it took 3 weeks for mine to go from when they stimulated the chakra seeds to when actually buds start happening. When you start working with your own lotus anatomy, once that starts to wake up, once you have the plasma level of the lotus activation started, you won't be able to be harmed as far as things getting into your light body lotus structure and trying to take over your body kind of thing. And if you have anything like that in there right now, because some people do,
Some people have it because it tracked you from other lifetimes and birthed in with you. If you have that, it will protect whatever level of your own light body structure, your own light body lotus structure, that is still like not activated yet on the dark flowering. It will stop that dark flowering from going any further. And if the damage isn't to a certain level, it can actually turn it back around. But if it is to a certain level, of critical mass saturation, it might not be able to fix the lotus structure, but it will be able to sheath it enough where it can't take it further. So you would be safe either way from that point, where if something has been trying to track you through your lifetimes and take over your body, basically, because that's what the fatality like to do to Krishtiks, especially femmes, that buck would stop there with the plasma body activations. And that's what we're going to do. That's why they kind of pushed us through a really rapid set of plasma